to the second game of a two-game series against the Florida State Seminoles. Commenting the game with me today, as always, is my brother Matt. And Matt, happy birthday, buddy.
Hey, thank you. I don't know about you, Andrew, but I'm feeling 22.
How many times are we going to say that, Matt?
Never enough today. Alrighty. Second game of a two-game series about to commence here between the Kennesaw State Fighting Owls and the Florida State Seminoles. A little bit of bad blood in that last matchup.
More than a little bit, Matt. More than a little bit.
You know, I'm just trying to understate the amount of debauchery that went on during that last game. And I'll tell you what, I am excited to watch this game commence, especially given the come-from-behind victory from Kennesaw State in the previous game to win 4-3.
Down 2-0 and did not count ourselves out, Matt. We came straight back and took it to them. Their goalie did not know what hit him.
You are absolutely correct. And as we get underway here, Florida State University winning the first face-off and immediately dumping the puck into the Kennesaw zone for Bright to collect. Bright now losing the puck to Florida State behind the Kennesaw net. Bright battling along the boards now, where McDonald takes control of the puck and passes it along the near boards, where it's intercepted by Florida State. Cross-ice pass now to Testino. Testino up to Bright and eventually McDonald. But Florida State manages to corral the puck now. McDonald along the near boards. Florida State collects. In their own zone is Florida State skating out to neutral ice, where they lose the puck to Bright. Bright now. A pass that is tipped up and lofted in behind the Florida State goal. Testino now in behind. Testino and McDonald. Along the far boards now is Evan Deere. Evan Deere sending it behind the boards to McDonald, but nothing doing. Florida State now in their own zone, attempting to clear the puck, can't quite do it. McDonald with the puck behind the net now. McDonald with the puck behind the Florida State net, drops it off to Deere. Deere snatches it out of the air, but loses it to Florida State. Florida State now skate up into the neutral zone and dump it in to the Kennesaw State goal. However, it will come all the way back for an icing.
Florida State keeping control early, Matt. Kennesaw needs to get some offense going, but hey, only 1 minute's gone by. Anything can happen.
There is plenty of hockey left to play, Andrew. With 18:51 remaining in this first period, we have Spyzinski out on the ice now with Evan Deere, Wes Davis, Tristan Gagner, and Jeremy Van de Kerkhoff. Jeez, I forgot.
That's like 4 syllables. It's going to trip you up every time.
Van de Kerkhoff, it's fine. I had it on point last night. Alrighty, Spyzinski taking the face-off now. Spyzinski can't quite handle the face-off, and Florida State with the puck in their own zone now. Pass immediately intercepted by Van de Kerkhoff. Van de Kerkhoff now along the near boards, attempts a centering pass, but only 3 Florida State defensemen there to meet him. Florida State now with it up into the neutral zone and into the Kennesaw State zone. Kennesaw State push Florida off of the puck and regain possession in their own zone. This is Davis now skating up into neutral ice with a pass to Van de Kerkhoff. Van de Kerkhoff in onside. Van de Kerkhoff with a shot just wide of the net. Bounces off the outside of the net now. Van de Kerkhoff along the near boards. Up to Gagner. Gagner with a hard wrister into Gadbois. Turned aside just before it reaches the net. Van de Kerkhoff now. Florida State managed to regain possession in their own zone, but Spyzinski putting the pressure on. And we have a stoppage in play and a high stick.
Again, it's hockey, not baseball. Keep your sticks down, boys.
Or lacrosse. I feel like
lacrosse.
that applies a little bit
know,
more. And we will have immediately, with 18 minutes remaining in the first period, the first penalty of the game will be against Evan Deere for high sticking. And Florida State will have a man advantage yet again. However, if there's anything to go by from last night, it's that the Kennesaw State penalty kill is a force to be reckoned with. Kennesaw State now attempting to defend in their own zone, immediately kick the puck out into neutral ice for Florida State to reset. Florida State now along the far boards. Florida State attempting to skate it into the zone and managed to gain the zone. Along the near boards now is Florida State with the puck, battled by Kennesaw. Kennesaw State attempt to regain possession, and Arnold does in fact manage to regain possession. Oh, that's not Arnold, that's 61. I don't have him on my roster. Apologies. Alrighty, Kennesaw State now attempting, and another stoppage in play, and I believe another penalty will be assessed to Kennesaw State. This one will be on Mason Bright. He will go to the box, and 17-18 remaining to play in this first period. Florida State will go up in a 5-on-3.
I mean, we managed to kill off one yesterday, but I still hate to see this happen.
Yeah, it's never a good feeling. And I will say that it's a bit nerve-wracking, that's for sure. Florida State with the puck in the Kennesaw zone now, immediately lose it out into neutral ice. Vanderkerkhoff, Davis, and Tristan Gagner on the defense. Florida State crashing the board, send a shot wide of the net. Florida State along the near boards now. Florida State playing keep away from Kennesaw at the moment. To the far point now and far wing. Back to the far point for Florida State to the near wing. A wrister is put on goal. Fought away, rather, by Luke Thurston. That's his first save of the night. And Vanderkerkhoff sends one all the way back down into the Florida State ice for a clear. 35 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3 and 16:30 remaining in the first period. This is Florida State along the near wing to the high point. Florida State to the far point now. With a shot turned aside before it even gets to the net. And just barely managing to keep it into the Kennesaw zone is Florida State. Florida State loses the puck once again. This is Davis attempting a clear, but fans. Tristan Gagner sending one along the near boards all the way back down the ice for Gadbois to collect. And 10 seconds remaining on this 5 versus 3 for Florida State. Florida State attempting to capitalize here, but can't quite manage to make it happen just yet. This is Florida State along the far boards in the far wing. And the 5-on-3 has expired now with 35 seconds remaining in the power play for Florida State. Florida State now losing the puck, but managing to recollect behind the Kennesaw net. Looking for a centering pass, but bumped away by Kennesaw. Florida State along the near boards now attempting to regain possession, but can't quite make it happen as McDonald collects the puck and sends it all the way back down the ice for yet another clear with 15 seconds remaining in this Kennesaw shorthanded situation. 15:30 remaining in the first period. As Florida State attempts to skate out of their own zone into the neutral ice, but can't quite make it happen. Kennesaw, oh my goodness, this is Tisdale here with the puck shorthanded situation. Tisdale along the near boards battling for the puck. Can't quite make it happen just yet, and that will be the expiration of the power play for Florida State. Kennesaw managed another successful clear, and we have a breakaway situation here. This is Kennesaw State along the far wing. A wrister put on goal, but turned aside by Gadbois. Rebound collected by Kennesaw and sent on net just wide. Along the near boards, now we have another battle. This is Arnold and Tisdale. Florida State managed to collect it, send it into neutral ice, and eventually into Kennesaw zone, where Davis collects. Sends it on across to Gagner behind his own net. And Gagner sends a cross-ice pass looking for Spysinski, but couldn't quite make it happen. Spysinski collects behind the Florida State net, attempting an odd-angle shot, but can't quite bury it. This is Arnold now for Spysinski. Along the far boards is Florida State collecting the puck cross-ice to the near boards into neutral ice, and eventually into the Kennesaw zone before it's batted right back into Florida State territory. Spysinski collects, puts another wrister on goal just wide of the net. This is Kennesaw State now with the puck in neutral ice and eventually their own territory. Kennesaw State skating in to the Florida State zone. Dropped off for Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff. Can't quite bury the shot. It's turned aside before it gets to the net. Kennesaw State with the puck in their own zone now once again. Up into neutral ice for Vanderkerkhoff. Can't quite corral the pass, and so Florida State gains possession, but immediately dumps it into the Kennesaw zone for Kennesaw to collect. Kennesaw State, puck in the neutral zone now. This is Deere. Deere drops one off for Testino, who puts a wrister that's batted aside before it can get to the net. McDonald now with the puck. Sends it up along the near boards to Deere. Deere back to McDonald. Testino attempting to collect now. But Florida State come up with possession. Florida State out into neutral ice now. And eventually skate past Bright and get into the Kennesaw zone where a wrister is stopped before it can get to the net. Florida State looking for another chance, but some scrappy defense being administered here by Kennesaw State University. And a shot sent off the glass here, or a pass rather. Florida State managing to keep it in Kennesaw zone, but not for very long. Testino now with the puck in neutral ice, dumps it in behind the Florida State goal. Bright looking to collect. Establishing the forecheck, just barely misses what would have been quite the hit. Ooh, batted down is the puck by McDonald. And Florida State managed to gain possession once again. Florida State trying to get into Kennesaw territory, but Kennesaw corralled the puck. immediately attempt a cross-ice pass, but Florida State will be there to intercept. In the Kennesaw zone now, with possession of the puck is Florida State. Kennesaw immediately regains, however, and sends it back into neutral ice. Florida State with the puck in neutral ice now. Immediately give it over to Kennesaw, who dump it into the Florida State zone. This is Arnold attempting to collect this pass and establish the forecheck. Manages to get the puck and looking for a centering pass, but it's batted away by Florida State. This is Wes Davis along the far boards now, sending it behind the Florida State net. Looking for Tisdale. Stop before it got there. This is Arnold now to Tisdale, who loses the puck along the far boards to Florida State, who with a full head of steam skated all the way into the Kennesaw zone, looking for a shot on goal, but turned aside by Luke Thurston yet again. This is Tisdale now along the near boards, with a slapper from the near side point, turned aside by Gadbois. And Florida State now with the puck in their own zone, into the neutral ice, and eventually into Kennesaw zone, where it is hopped up into the net, I believe, for a stoppage in play.
Almost 9 minutes into the game, Matt. Kennesaw already has five shots on goal. They're really trying to put something behind Gadbois.
Very understandable. The more shots you can put on goal, it's mathematics. The more shots you can put on goal, the more goals you'll end up with. Especially against a goaltender like Gadbois with an average goals allowed per game of 5 last season.
And he really showed it last night, allowing 4 against KSU.
You threw that stat out early last night, and I didn't believe you, but it ended up being right on the money. Florida State attempting a lazy backhand lofter on goal, turned aside by Thurston easily. A wraparound attempt is stuffed by Kennesaw State defense. Vandekerkhoff now with the puck along the far boards, attempting to do some work here against 2 or 3 Florida defensemen. Kennesaw State bump it out into the neutral zone for Florida State to collect. Back into Kennesaw State zone, and we have an offsides against Florida State. Face-off will come out into the neutral zone now with 11:11 to play in this first period. Make a wish, Andrew.
Matt, if you add those numbers up, that's 22. Are you feeling 22?
I'm feeling 22.
You better.
Spyzinski on the face-off again. Florida State managed to come up with it. Florida State with the puck in their own zone, sending it along the near boards and neutral ice into the Kennesaw zone. Near boards now. And another stoppage in play.
That one get hopped up into the mesh as well, or is the ref trying to call another penalty on us? What do you think?
I believe there was just a common stoppage, but yeah,
Nope.
the face-off will come into the neutral zone, I believe.
Knowing then we're going to put our entire team in the box.
10:58 remaining here in this first period of play at the Marietta Ice Center for a nice afternoon game of hockey. Alrighty, Kennesaw State up into the neutral zone. This is McDonald with the puck now skating on in with a full head of steam. Put a backhand on goal, turned aside by Gadbois. Braid attempting to collect. Can't quite make it happen. This is Kennesaw State keeping the pressure on in the Florida State zone, but Florida State managed to get it out into neutral ice and eventually into the Kennesaw zone. This is Gagner now collecting the puck behind his own net. Gagner sending one cross ice to center ice to McDonald. McDonald to Bright along the near boards. Bright dumps it in. Behind for Testino. Testino collects. Testino to McDonald. McDonald with the puck behind Florida State net now. Attempting for a centering pass, but can't quite make it happen as the puck is sent all the way back down the ice for an icing. Coming back to Florida State's side of the ice once again.
Matt, every time McDonald touches that puck, I get excited. That breakaway goal he had last night, that was something else.
It was a thing of beauty, that's for sure. Tari taking the face-off now. Tari. Back to Deere, who puts a slapper on goal, turned aside by Gadbois once again, though. Kennesaw State, this is Arnold with the puck, sending a wrister into the breadbasket of Gadbois, having him think twice. Once again, they are putting a lot of pressure on Gadbois tonight, or this afternoon, rather, and I am very much enjoying it, that's for sure.
3 shots on goal after that one face-off. They're trying to test him, Matt.
Very impressive. On the ice now, we have Wes Davis, Evan Deere. Number 26, I don't believe we have that on our roster. We need to get a full updated roster, that's for sure. We have Tari and also Arnold once again. Florida State managing to win this one face-off. Skating with a full head of steam along the near boards, attempting for a shot, but interfered with, but in the legal sense, before they can manage to make that happen. Florida State along the far boards now, a shot turned way high of the net by Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State with a full head of steam. This is Arnold now. One man to beat. Sends it across for a centering pass, and we do have a penalty that will be assessed to Florida State here.
Looks like slashing on Florida State, and that's a man advantage.
Kennesaw State, their penalty kill has been stellar. Let's see how their power play offense can handle.
Well, I mean, Florida State did get a shorthanded last night, but they might have learned from that. I don't think we'll let up another one.
Hopefully not. That was also in the closing moments of the game where Kennesaw State may be, relaxing for a little bit.
Up 2 goals. Might as well.
All right, this is Deer on the face-off. Kennesaw State come up with it, actually. Fantastic. This is Davis fighting for the puck behind the net, and we have another stoppage in play immediately. And another slashing call against Florida State. For a minute 53, Kennesaw State will have a 5-on-3 situation.
Minute 53, that's a long time for 5-on-3.
A long time for some 5-on-3 hockey. And then 7 seconds of a 5-on-4 immediately after.
Florida State is going to be hurting after this.
You are absolutely correct, sir. This is Deer on the face-off yet again. Deer winning the face-off immediately. Back to McDonald, who can't quite corral the puck just yet, but it's collected by Davis, who sends one over to Vanderkerkhoff, who puts one high glove side for the goal. That's Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff going high glove side on Ryan Gadbois. Kennesaw State take a 1-0 lead here in the Marriott Ice Center with 9:18 remaining to play in this first period.
That's Wes Davis's second assist in just as many games, Matt. He's really trying to move the puck around the ice.
He's the distributor, that's for sure. He's like Amazon.
Has he got that new headquarters in Atlanta yet?
Hopefully. All righty. Vanderkerkhoff now with the puck along the far boards up to Davis once again. Davis along the near boards now. Skating with it, sends a cross-ice pass to Vanderkerkhoff, who sends another hard wrister right into the breadbasket of Ryan Gadbois. I'll tell you what, he's looking for his second very quickly. We have a minute 39 remaining with the Kennesaw State power play. With 9:05 remaining in the first period, Kennesaw State taking the early lead 1-0.
1 goal and 3 shots. I'll take that percentage any day of the week from Vanderkerkhoff, Matt.
I couldn't agree more. Deer on the faceoff once again. They like him on the faceoff here on the power play. Florida State managed to corral the puck and clear it all the way down. Thurston collecting the puck, drops it off for McDonald. Skating with the puck now was Davis, who sent one to the far boards to Vanderkerkhoff, who skates into the Florida State zone yet again. Vanderkerkhoff now chipping one over to Davis on the near boards. Davis collects one, sends a wrister from the near wing, but turned aside by Gadbois. Kennesaw State retained possession. This is Deer along the far boards now. Far wing, cross ice to McDonald. Davis collects, sends a hard one. That's over to Vanderkerkhoff, who puts a slapper on goal, but it is turned aside before he gets there. Vanderkerkhoff now with the puck once again. Vanderkerkhoff finds Davis near the net, but can't quite convert. Florida State managed to clear. 52 seconds remaining in this Kennesaw State power play with 8:15 to play in the first period. This is Tisdale now collecting the puck in his own zone. Sending one cross ice to Spyzinski, who collects, but can't quite put a handle on it. Florida State managed to collect and send one all the way back down the ice for a clear. 30 seconds remaining in this Kennesaw State power play. 7:52 remaining in the first period. This is Testino taking it up, skating it in to the Florida State territory. Testino now with the puck on the far boards, behind the Florida State net now. Florida State with the puck looking to clear, but pressured by Kennesaw State into turning the puck over, but only momentarily. That is Gagner manages to keep the puck in Florida State territory. Kennesaw State now, puck behind Florida net. Out to Gagner. Gagner on the near point. Sends a hard slapper that's turned aside before it gets there. Testino keeping it in the Florida State territory. This is Spyzinski. Ooh, sending a nice little wrister that would have squeaked by Gadbois were he not halfway competent. And we have another stoppage in play, I believe, for a penalty. This one on Spyzinski. And what will this one be for?
I'm sure they'll make up a rule against
cross-checking. Cross-checking.
That's 3 penalties on Kennesaw in just the first period, Matt.
I mean, there are 2 on Florida State, so I can't complain.
Yeah, but
we'll
still 3 penalties.
We'll see how the long term fares. Now,
play in the long game. Play in the long game.
A fresh 2 minutes of lopsided hockey here for Florida State University. 2 minutes with 7:05 remaining in the first period. Florida State looking to put one on goal and even this game up, but can't quite make it happen as Kennesaw State corral the puck and clear. Gadbois out behind his own net. Drops it off for unnamed black shirt, Florida State player. Black shirt up into the neutral zone, skating it into the Kennesaw State ice. Sending it around behind the net where Berezinski collects and sends one, attempting to clear it along the near boards, but Florida State keeps it in. Florida State now dancing around with it. High point, Florida State. Looking for a shot, near point now, Florida State. And we have a delayed penalty once again. This will be on Kennesaw State as well, so we're going to have another 5-on-3 situation. And Florida State go empty net now for the extra attacker. Florida State with a prime opportunity to score once again. Florida State attempting a wrister in front, but it's collected by Kennesaw State for a stoppage in play. And a slashing penalty against Kennesaw State will give Florida State a 5-on-3 situation for a minute 7.
It's second opportunity of the night.
I know.
Killed off the first one, though.
A lot of 5-on-3s. 6:13 remaining in this first period. Kennesaw State still up 1-0.
That slash was on Josh Berezinski.
Alrighty, Kennesaw State now. Backs against the wall once again in their own zone. Florida State collect the puck. Florida State looking to make some magic happen here. Can't quite put one on goal just yet. High point now to the near wing. Florida State send one top shelf on Thurston and manage to bury one in the back of the net. Florida State with a 5-on-3 situation. Their second of the day. Managed to tie the game 1-1.
Hey, if it takes them 2 5-on-3 penalties just to get 1 goal, I'll take that.
I won't take that if we keep committing 5-on-3 penalties.
Yeah. We might have to slow that down. And they're still on the power play with 1:46 left to go.
Yeah, 1:46 remaining on this Florida State power play with 5:50 remaining in the first period. 1-1 your score. Florida State with the puck in the neutral zone now. Kennesaw defense looking to get aggressive here and not let them into the zone whatsoever. Tristan Gagner collects the puck behind his own net, sending a attempted clear along the near boards. Stop before it can get there. Kennesaw State looking to make a clear happen and eventually do, and we have a breakaway situation here for Kennesaw State. Bumped off the puck, however, by Florida. Florida State corralling the puck along the near boards now. Kennesaw State keeping it in the Florida State zone, even shorthanded. Minute 10 remaining on the Florida State power play. 5:20 remaining in the first period. Oh my goodness, a pass intercepted here by Kennesaw State. Wide open chance here, attempting to go 5-hole, turned aside by Gadbois. Prime opportunity for a shorthanded goal by Kennesaw State. 5:05 remaining in the first period and 52 seconds on this Florida State power play. This is Testino, giving Blackshirt the devil here behind his own net. Testino looking to make some magic happen, can't quite. And a penalty called on Florida State for slashing.
Testino was roughing it up on the boards. He decided to retaliate with a slash. He gets a seat on the bench in the box, Matt.
Blackshirt taking offense to Testino's hard defense. And I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan. I'll tell you what, we have a minute 20 of even strength 4-on-4 hockey here before a minute 20 of a Kennesaw State power play.
Matt,
a lot of penalties here.
Will they ever get names on their jerseys?
I don't believe so. Some of them do. I wonder how much they had to pay extra. Alrighty, Bright now. Puck along the near boards. Back down to Bright. Near boards. Behind the net to McDonald. McDonald with the puck behind Florida State net. Sends one out to Gagner, who sends a slapper redirected by McDonald for the goal. Top shelf on Gadbois yet again. And I'll tell you what a good use of this even strength hockey here for Kennesaw State. They say, we don't need a stinking power play. We'll score anyway. Kennesaw State up 2-1.
That's McDonald's first goal of the game. Vander Kirchhoff with 1 goal and 1 assist tonight, Matt. He's doing some work.
He is doing some work tonight. McDonald with the beautiful redirect off the slapper by Tristan Gagner. Fantastic. Gagner now collecting the puck in front of his own net. We remain in a 4-on-4 situation here. For another minute, or another 20 seconds, we have a 4-on-4 situation, rather, before Kennesaw State go on the power play. Gagner skating up, makes a man miss. In front of the net now is Kennesaw State. Puck is fallen on by Gadbois. Florida State not too happy about Gagner absolutely dicing up the defense.
You know, it's really funny that 3 Florida State players were surrounding Gagner. Gagner just towers over every single one of them.
He's huge.
They might go up to his shoulders. He's just looking down like, really? You're just going to talk to me from all the way down there?
He could beat up whole rows of people at one time like a cartoon. It'd be hilarious.
He's got to get on his knees just to look at eye level with him.
Alrighty, 4-on-4 hockey for another 11 seconds before Kennesaw State take a man advantage. Vanderkerkov on the face-off. Florida State come up with it. Looking to get it out of their own zone, but can't quite make it happen. Kennesaw State keeping the pressure on. This is Deer along the near boards now. Deer putting a little razzle-dazzle on a Florida State defenseman, sending a pass out to the far point. Near point now, Davis. Davis corrals the puck, skates it up to the near wing. A battle along the near boards now for possession, but it's dumped along for Spysinski. Spysinski sends one far side to Vanderkerkov. Vanderkerkov making Spysinski look very good here. Spysinski, off to Davis for the centering pass. Davis puts one on goal, turned aside by Gadbois. Florida State finally managed to gain possession of the puck in the neutral zone. And it's offsides for them, so they decide to back off. And Vanderkerkov, with the puck behind his own net now, drops one off for, if you can tell me who 61 is, Andrew, I would very much appreciate it.
Yeah, let me open my eyes real quick. That's another Deer.
Deer as well.
How many brothers do we have on this team?
Berezinskis. I guess if they're related, then that's 2 Deers as
We
well.
have the Berezinskis, we have the Brights, and the Deers.
This is incredible. It's a family affair here,
It's
Andrew.
a family team. They all grew up together. Now
You
they're
could
playing
say
together.
they're in a neighborhood like Bradley's Bar and Grill, the neighborhood bar where we do neighborly things.
God, I hate you, Matt. Just had to plug them, didn't you?
Bradley, please hit us up for advertisements. We'll be all over that. All right, Spysinski now skating with it into Florida State territory. 30 seconds remaining on this Kennesaw State power play. Florida State attempting to corral the puck, eventually do, but it's stopped before it can get out of their own zone. Spysinski now high points, sending one into the breadbasket of Gadbois. Making him think twice, giving him a little shot or two. This is 19 seconds remaining in the Kennesaw State power play with 3 minutes and 11 seconds in the first period of play remaining here. Kennesaw State up 2-1 thus far. Spysinski on the faceoff. Alrighty. Puck dropped and Florida State manages to attempt to clear, but grabbed by Davis and held. Attempted shot on goal, stopped aside by a skate. And a delayed penalty once again here against Kennesaw State. And with 1 second remaining in the Kennesaw State power play and 2:53 remaining to play, I believe Deer will go to the box.
At least we
or high sticking.
At least we get 1 second of even strength here.
Absolutely correct. That's all we need, really.
That is Evan Deer's second penalty of the night.
He's playing scrappy. I like
he
it.
is. He's really trying to get under their skin.
I'll tell you what, it's working with the 2-1 lead here.
He's really trying to get under their unnamed Florida State jerseys.
Alrighty, this is McDonald on the face-off now for Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State attempting to come up with the power play, can't quite make it happen. Florida State attempting to send a shot on goal, can't quite make it happen. Stop before it gets there, and Kennesaw State with a one-on-one situation. A wrister put on goal, turned aside by a blocker of Gadbois from Kennesaw State. Fantastic. Kennesaw State now with a man disadvantage for 1:40 with 2:30 remaining in the first period of play, rather. 2:30, same time as my dentist appointment, Andrew. Alrighty, Florida State dancing around with the puck in the neutral zone now, eventually skated into Kennesaw territory. Playing keep away now. A wrister is stuffed before it can be put on goal, but a shot from the far wing is put on goal by Florida State and snapped up by Luke Thurston.
Thurston's 5th save of the night.
5th save of the night already.
Last night he ended with 31 saves, stopping 91% of the shots.
That is
pretty good game.
Fairly impressive. 1:20 remaining on this Florida State power play with 2:11 remaining in the first period. A shot put on goal, turned aside by the blocker of Thurston. Couldn't see it all the way in, but a reaction save from him keeps the score lopsided here in Kennesaw State's favor. 2 minutes remaining in the first period with 1:05 remaining in this Florida State power play. Florida State coming up along the near boards now in a neutral ice into Kennesaw territory. Florida State skating behind the Kennesaw net now. To the far boards, but a pass to absolutely no one as Blackshirt must make the walk of shame back into his own zone to collect the puck. Kennesaw State, that's Testino bumping Florida State off the puck now. Testino with a shorthanded opportunity, can't quite collect on it. That's Gagner now. Back to Deer. Deer on over to the far side to Gagner. Loft clear into Florida State territory. Actually put one on goal. Testino now looking for a centering pass to Tisdale. Tisdale with a spinorama just barely wide of the net. Oh, a centering pass to Testino, who puts one just wide of the net again. Oh, my goodness. Some fireworks here for shorthanded opportunities from Kennesaw State University. 19 seconds to play in this Florida State power play with 1:07 remaining in the first period. And as 1 minute ticks down, 1 minute remaining in this first period of play with 7 seconds remaining in the Florida State power play. Vandekerkhoff with possession in Florida State territory. Florida State corral the puck, send it up into neutral ice, and eventually just barely into Kennesaw territory. This is Spyzinski now skating along the near boards, looking for a centering pass, but no one home. Florida State with the puck along the near boards now. A long pass into Kennesaw State territory where Kennesaw collects. That's Davis behind his own net now, making a man miss and skating it up for a pass to Vandekerkhoff into Florida State territory. Vandekerkhoff. And we appear to have lost video feed for a moment. There we are. We're back. Apologies about that.
We are back.
Alrighty, a face-off now with 22 seconds remaining in Florida State territory. Kennesaw State eventually coming up with the puck. That's Davis attempting a pass, but it's intercepted by Florida State. Florida State with a two-on-one opportunity, rather. And several shots put on goal, turned aside by the blocker of Luke Thurston. 8 seconds remaining in the first period of play. 2-1 the score. 3 seconds remaining, and as time expires here in the first period of play at the Marietta Ice Center in Game 2 of this two-game series, Kennesaw State, your Kennesaw State Fighting Owls, retain a 2-1 lead against the Florida State Seminoles. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We will be back momentarily with the second period of play here at the Marietta Ice Center in scenic Marietta, Georgia.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second period of action here at the Marietta Ice Center, where the score is Kennesaw State 2, Florida State 1. Florida State coming off the bench now, getting ready for this face-off against KSU. Florida State's up 10-6 in face-offs tonight, the complete reverse of the story last night, where Kennesaw just beat the crap out of them in the circle. Kennesaw State takes the face-off. Tisdale wins that one, throws it back to Gagner.
Gagner now on over to Davis. Davis along the near boards. Into the neutral zone, lofts one to the far side behind the Florida State goal. Florida State regained possession in their own zone, now skated out to neutral ice where it's collected by Davis and sent right back on in. Tisdale collecting the puck behind the boards now. Tisdale behind the net, looking for a pass to the near wing here. The near wing, a wrister put on goal, turned aside by Gadbois. Florida State with the puck in the neutral zone now. Florida State with an offsides, I believe. Yes, an offside, so it'll come all the way back out into the neutral zone.
Just couldn't tiptoe over that blue line. He's got lead feet, Matt. He's got lead feet.
I feel like you're absolutely correct, Andrew.
Or whatever skates are made out of.
It's probably the lead paint in all of their old ancient jerseys they're wearing. Alrighty. Kennesaw State just barely managing to... no, they lost the face-off, but Florida State dump it on in. Kennesaw State corral the puck. That's McDonald skating out of his own zone. Now up to Testino into the Florida State side of the ice. Kennesaw State with the puck in offensive territory now. That's Bright along the near boards. Bright losing the puck, but McDonald looking to corral. Can't quite make it happen, and that's Blackshirt for Florida State along the far boards. Alrighty, Florida State with the puck behind their own goal now. Trying to play it along the far boards, just barely bounces a whole bunch of times. And Florida State looking to make a play happen, but rather than make a play happen, they shoot the puck up out of play.
Yeah, wrong net there, Matt. They shot the net around the ice, not the one behind Thurston.
They can't really tell the difference. It's okay. I'll tell you what. Maybe when they go to a school with a respectable curriculum. Yikes. Yikes. Did I say that out loud?
I think you did, Matt. I think you did.
Berezinski now along the near boards. Laying a lick on a Florida State offenseman. Vanderkerkov skating all the way in behind the Florida State goal, looking for a centering pass, but nobody home. That's Davis on the far point now. Far wing is, I believe, Deer. Looking for a centering pass to Deer was, I believe, Berezinski. Or that was Spysinski, rather. My apologies. And Florida State with the puck behind Kennesaw goal now. McDonald corrals the puck, sends it up to Deer. Deer, center ice to Davis. Davis, near side to Vanderkerkov. Vanderkerkov looking for a centering pass back to Davis, but it's stuffed. Vanderkerkov retaining possession, a centering pass to Deer. Deer can't quite get a handle on it. And Florida State regained possession and skated out into neutral ice and eventually into the Kennesaw side of the ice. Trying to make a man miss is Florida State, but Kennesaw read that one like a book. Vanderkerkov now with the puck along the near boards in his own zone. Vanderkerkov being worked on by 3 Florida State defensemen. Make it 4, rather, as Tisdale comes in for the saving the day and sends it on around to Davis, who pops it up to Deer, and Deer out past center ice, dumps it in to the Florida State zone. Kennesaw State losing possession of the puck now, neutral zone. This is Florida State trying to make a move here. Backhander turned aside by Luke Thurston. Blocker side of Luke Thurston. And this is Florida State with the puck in their own territory now, attempting to clear it out to the neutral ice and just barely managed to. That's Gagner who collects, but it will be stopped for an offsides.
A lot of up and down action at the start of this period, Matt. No one really seems to take control yet, but it's fast-paced. I like it.
I agree. It's very much a transition-based series. Both of these games have been. Kennesaw has gotten their best opportunities in transition, and there's no reason to think that won't change. 16:54 remaining in this second period of play here. Kennesaw State still leading the Florida Seminoles 2-1. And tipped off of a Florida State stick means no icing here against Kennesaw State as McDonald in behind the net. And Florida State regained possession and skated out past neutral ice, trying to make a play here. A 3-on-1 developing, a shot sent into the breadbasket of Luke Thurston. but he is bumped by Teal, it looks like, for Florida State in the head.
Of course it was.
And a stoppage in play, however, as Thurston makes the save like it ain't no thing.
See, so apparently when Thurston comes out of the net and completely stuffs your shot, the only thing we have to do is to bump him in the head?
I mean, he's going to stop all the other shots. What else is there to do, right?
Seems like kind of a nasty move.
Listen,
there by
if I
Florida
were
State.
playing against Luke Thurston, I'd do everything I can to get him out of the goal.
You know, you're probably right, yeah.
All right.
That's if you could skate, Matt.
That's if I could skate. Alrighty, a face-off now in the Kennesaw zone. Florida State collects, sends a wrister on goal, and another one sent wide of the net by Florida State. 2 shots in a row there. The first one turned aside by Thurston. Florida State looking for a centering pass, but nobody home. High point, a slapper turned aside by Thurston once again. Kennesaw State battling to collect this puck now. That's Testino manages to get it out to the high point, but Florida State keeps it in. Davis now with the puck. Looking for McDonald, but loses the puck. Between the hedges now is Florida State with the puck now. And Kennesaw State just barely hanging on here. Bright now collects the puck. Kennesaw State need to clear it of their own zone just to relieve some of this pressure Florida State is putting on. Battle along the far boards now right in front of the Florida State bench, and a penalty against both Florida State and Kennesaw State.
Mitchell Brighton, number 6, are having some words. They got in their little kerfuffle right there.
A little spat. That's not very neighborly. Unlike Bradley's Bar and Grill, the neighborhood bar where they do neighborly things.
I am sick of you already, and it's game 2.
4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes with 15:46 remaining in the second period of play here. Kennesaw State still up 2-1, hanging on to that goal lead. I'm liking the playlist as well. Hotline Bling, my jam. Alrighty, Vandekerkov out past center ice into Florida State territory, where he is bumped off the puck by Florida State. Gagner collects, however, sends a wraparound backhand pass to Vandekerkov. Vandekerkov with the puck now in his own zone. That's Berezinski along the far boards, looking for a cross-ice pass. Can't quite make it happen. Florida State collects, but it is offside. Neutral zone face-off yet again. 1:41 remaining in this 4-on-4 fiesta, and 15:27 remaining in the second period of play.
Last night, Florida State beat us on a 4-on-4 and managed to get a goal out of it. Let's hope we can stop them this time, maybe turn the tide on them.
I couldn't agree more, sir. Alrighty, Kennesaw State now. Can't quite get a handle on the face-off, and Florida State with the puck behind their own net. Florida State bringing it up past center ice and into Kennesaw State zone with a full head of steam, trying to make a move, but the defense of Kennesaw State collapses and puts the kibosh on that one. Near boards, Florida State bumped off the puck by Gagner. Gagner loses possession yet again. Spysinski and Berezinski giving Black Shirt the business. Slapped off the boards by Kennesaw State and sent all the way back down past center ice into Florida State territory. Alrighty, Florida State with the puck now, crashing into Kennesaw State territory as 50 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. 14:30 remaining in this second period. Wes Davis along the near boards now. Up past center ice, looking for McDonald. Finds him. McDonald putting a move on Gadbois, but Gadbois just barely manages to fight that puck off. Florida State now out past center ice into Kennesaw territory. But it will go all the way down for an icing, and that's coming right back in to Florida State territory.
McDonald loves that move. Goes from right side to left side and tries to put a backhand on Gadbois. He scored last night with it. Couldn't quite bury it this time. I guess Gadbois watched our stream and did his homework.
He must have. You know we're out here with the official game film. All righty.
Official? Are we verified?
One of these days, maybe. McDonald on the faceoff. Kennesaw State winning that one. And Florida State attempting to clear it of their own zone, but Kennesaw State keep it in. Only momentarily, it seems. Now Testino sends one back to the near point for Deer, who sends a high slapper that's just barely fought off and held for a stoppage with 15 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4 and 14:01 in the second period.
Matt over here getting all of his birthday messages coming in.
I gotta
All his
I'm a
co-workers at work.
I'm a popular guy.
Are you?
No.
According to who?
Wikipedia. It is black shirt now for Florida State, taking it up past center ice, dumping it into the Kennesaw zone. Deere collecting the puck, sending it back towards Davis. Davis with the puck in his own zone now, skates behind his own net. Playing a little bit of keep away here, understandable as 4-on-4 expires, and we are back to full-strength hockey here at the Marietta Ice Center. McDonald with the puck looking for a slapper. Can't quite make it happen, but sends a backhand pass behind the net. Kennesaw State battling along the near boards. That's Deere at the near point. Dumping it along all the way back behind the net. Far boards now. Florida State with possession. Kennesaw State bumped them off the puck, however. Kennesaw State with possession. That's Tisdale ringing one off the post. Just barely wide on that one. That's Davis with the puck now, sending a slapper from the high point just wide of the net. It's Deere with the puck now. Near boards. And it bounces up out of play.
A lot of pressure on the possession again. That's what, another 3 shots after one faceoff?
Yes, sir. And I'll tell you what, I am liking the pressure.
Gadbois already let 2 through. We're still keeping the pressure on.
Wait, there are 2 black shirts.
There are? Wow.
Black shirts and blue pants. It doesn't really go.
Did they run by Academy Sports and just get a default black jersey for the game?
I believe so.
Brought to you by Academy Sports.
No, not brought to you by Academy
We're
Sports.
still not sponsored.
Brought to you by Bradley's Bar and Grill, neighborhood bar where they do neighborly things. I'll tell you what, black and blue don't match. It's not like a matching color combination either. Alrighty.
Matt, the fashion guy.
Alrighty, Kennesaw State with possession, looking for a centering pass in Florida State territory. Can't quite make it happen. Florida State with a full head of steam now. One man to beat Florida State. Maybe a 2-on-1 developing. No dice. Can't quite get to the puck in time. Arnold now with the puck along the far boards. Bumping it out past center ice all the way back down to the waiting glove of Gadbois, who falls on it for a stoppage.
See, 26 for us. Good manners did not give Gadbois a snow shower right there. If that was Florida State on Thurston, they definitely would have.
That's because Thurston's got him shook.
He does. He does have him shook. Thurston with 14 saves already in the game.
14 saves, only 1 allowed. That's pretty swell, if I do say so myself. Vandekerkov off the Spicinski faceoff win. Sends it along the far boards. Florida State managed to corral the puck and skate it into Kennesaw territory. Florida State now looking to make some offense happen. Spicinski collects the puck in his own zone and sends it out past center ice to Deere. Deere with the puck now looking for a centering pass to Vandekerkov. Stopped before it gets there by Florida State. Florida State up into the neutral ice. Bumped off the puck by Kennesaw. Vandekerkov now with the puck along the near boards. Near wing is Vandekerkov. Sending one cross ice, but can't quite get a handle on it. And that'll fly all the way back into Kennesaw territory where Gagner collects. Gagner, cross ice to Bright. 12:01 remaining in this second period here as Bright dumps it in to Florida State territory, and Florida State regain possession. Immediately give it back to Kennesaw. Kennesaw dump it in and attempt to make a change and do. Kennesaw State managed to keep it in the offensive zone during the change, however. That's Deere doing all kinds of work on the near boards. Deere sending it behind the Florida State net. Testino quickly skates on over to collect. Testino looking for a centering pass to Spicinski. Can't quite make it happen. And that's Bright bumping one over to Spicinski, who dumps it back in along the near glass around to the far side. That's McDonald now with the puck, sending a wrister on goal. Stop before it gets there. Some commotion in front of the net. That's McDonald again with a wrister. Stop before it gets there. And a bit of a pile up in front of the net, but nothing results. Florida State along the far boards now. Florida State up into neutral territory where Kennesaw collects. Oh my goodness, a large hit results in a Florida State player's stick going flying, and a penalty coming up here on Florida State as Kennesaw puts a couple good chances on net before they collect on their delayed penalty.
Thurston was going to the bench there for
an extra attacker.
For an extra attacker, but skating all the way back into his home. There he goes. Look at that man, Luke Thurston. Touches the post for good luck.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Sweeping out the little ice flakes from the blue paint. Back to the game, though.
He's like that great ice wall in Game of Thrones.
But it got broken.
Yeah, by a dragon. There are no dragons in real life.
There are no dragons at Florida State. Not that I would know.
What? All right, fair play, I guess. Deere will be taking this face off in Florida State territory. Kennesaw State with a fresh 2 minutes of 5-on-4 hockey.
I gotta learn the sound guy's name. I gotta learn his name so I can get his playlist.
Hit him up after the game, get his playlist.
Like, yeah, you got Spotify?
Gonna cuddle up in a Snuggie after this with a hot chocolate.
Hey,
Watch some
do
Real Housewives of
not knock
Atlanta.
the Snuggie.
Look, the Snuggie
You
was...
ever been warm with sleeves? It's a Snuggie. Come on, Matt.
warm with sleeves. I never have been warm with sleeves.
I
but I'll tell you
know. I
what.
know you've sat down in your chair back at your apartment and played something on your PC in a Snuggie.
If I owned a Snuggie, I would. That actually sounds delightful.
It does. Except
It's
it's
the
like,
open back that gets me. It's like a hospital gown.
except it's 93 degrees out.
That's true. It is a bit tepid outside. That's not the word I was looking for. But Florida State managed to eventually come up with possession off of this face-off with 1:45 remaining in the Kennesaw State power play. That's Wes Davis taking it out behind his own net. Far boards to McDonald. McDonald past center ice, dumps it in to Florida State territory, where Bright collects, I believe, and sends it up the near boards to Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff cross ice to McDonald. McDonald looking to make a wrister on goal. Eventually makes its way there, but turned aside by Gadbois. Kennesaw State working the defense here along the far boards, and another stoppage in play. This one will be against Kennesaw State.
We just can't keep a power play going, can we?
No dice. That is going to be on Bright, Mitchell Bright.
That is his second penalty of the game.
2 minutes for... I didn't see the signal.
2 minutes for something the ref made up in order to get even strength back on the ice.
Ref calls it technical. It's like, that's 2 shots in the ball. It's like,
2
wait.
shots and the puck.
He's like, that's not how this game works. Alrighty. We have 1:21 of 4-on-4 hockey yet again before 39 rousing seconds of Florida State power play.
Matt, way to throw our basketball background out there for everyone to hear.
No problem, buddy. I do what I can. Alrighty, face off in the Kennesaw State zone now. Florida State come up with it. Florida State lose the puck. That's Deere along the far boards now. Deere looking to poke it along to Gagner or Testino. They're doing some work along the boards now. Deere comes up with it over to Testino. Testino centering to Spysinski. Spysinski back to Testino with a nice slick little pass there. Testino skating all the way in to Florida State territory, putting a shot on goal. Stop before it gets there, however. Alrighty, Kennesaw State with possession behind the Florida State net. Florida State managed to finagle the puck away, however, and have a 2-on-2 situation developing here. Immediately poked away by Florida State, and a Florida State player, number 3, going high. That's Larson going high on Deere to the head. No call from the ref, but we do have a delayed penalty here, and an extra attacker on for Kennesaw State results in a wraparound goal from, I believe it was Testino. Yes, that's Testino with a wraparound goal to bring Kennesaw State a 2-goal lead here. It's 3-1 here at the Marietta Ice Center. Kennesaw State Fighting Owls 3, Florida State 1.
You see, Matt, the Warriors may have blown a 3-1 lead. I do not think the Kennesaw State Fighting Owls will.
I wouldn't be so sure, Andrew. You know, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, and everybody here looks to be in decent physical condition.
Way to survey the audience. They have a gym outside the ice center everyone goes to? Or?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, boy? What's up, Luke? How you doing, bud?
Absolutely killing it. All righty. We have a extended stoppage here as the refs talk things over, and another 2 minutes added. That was Larson. I knew they would get him on that. He went high on Deere and hit him in the head, and that would result in a penalty 9 times out of 10.
He was just a little upset that Deere made the poke check of the year on him.
That's very true.
He got a little upset and went straight to the head.
You know what? He can cry about whatever he wants. Scoreboard, buddy. Scoreboard.
Scoreboard!
All right, we have 25 seconds of... Oh, my goodness. 25 seconds of 4-on-3?
Yeah, 4-on-3.
5-on-4? I don't think...
No, 4-on-3. These penalties are confusing. Everyone's in the box. You get a timeout. You get a timeout. You get a timeout. Oprah's handing out timeouts today, Matt.
What's in the box? It's the entire active roster.
It's the entire Florida State bench.
Alrighty, 9:18 remaining here in the second period of play as another extended stoppage. The refs conversing with a Florida State player. It looks like Teal. He would cry to the refs about this sort of thing.
Wonder what he's complaining about this time.
What a loser.
Tell us how you really feel, Matt.
You know what? Maybe I will. All right, McDonald now on the face-off. Florida State corrals it, but McDonald immediately regains possession, looking for Vanderkerkhoff. But Florida State gain possession and the Kennesaw zone. Fight along the near boards here now for the puck as it is dumped in behind the Kennesaw State goal for Davis to collect. We have 10 seconds remaining on this 4-on-3 before a Kennesaw State. And we have an offsides called, but we have 3 seconds remaining here, rather, before even strength hockey yet again 4-on-4 for another 40 or 39 seconds once that evens out. And 8:55 remaining to play in the second period. Yes, sir.
That last goal was that last Testino goal was assisted by Gagner and Spyzinski. That's Gagner's second assist of the night.
He's dishing it out. He's like Steve Nash.
Once again, doing basketball.
Oh, my goodness. Even strength here. 4-on-4 hockey. Florida State with an opportunity developing immediately taken away by the quick skating of Vanderkerkhoff. He's flying full head of steam past center ice into the Florida State zone. Puts a wrister on goal and in the back of the net. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. He made the entire Florida State roster look silly there.
That was a mean-looking wrist shot from the point there, Matt. Just completely destroyed Gabois.
Oh, my
didn't have
goodness.
a chance.
Kennesaw State up 4-1 now. And they are starting to run away with this one. I'll tell you what.
Fantastic shot.
There was a 2-on-1 developing for Florida State as the penalty expired to make it even strength hockey, 4-on-4, right? And Vanderkerkhoff with a quick skate gets back and pokes the puck away, regains possession for himself, skates all the way back down the ice unassisted, and scores a goal. He can do it all, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, this is Testino now along the far side wing. Behind the Florida State goal now, it's even strength hockey for another 1 second, and now we have 55 more seconds of man advantage hockey for Kennesaw State University. A hard slapper put on goal by Bright. Gagner now, near point, looking for a wrister on goal, redirected before it gets there. That's Testino now with the puck on the near boards, sending it back to the high point from Gagner. Gagner, Testino. Testino looking for a centering pass, stopped before he can get there, and it's lofted into neutral ice by Florida State, where it's grabbed and corralled by Gagner to dump it in. Behind the Florida State goal, it's 23 seconds remaining. In the 22 seconds remaining now for the Kennesaw State 5-on-4 situation. And 7:39 to play in the second period here at the Marietta Ice Center. Kennesaw State Fighting Owls again starting to run away with this one. 4 to the Florida State Seminoles, measly 1 goal.
We have another penalty on Kennesaw.
Do we?
Yep. Another penalty on Kennesaw. I'm not sure what for. I didn't see anything happen. But that is Mitchell Bright's 3rd penalty of the game.
You got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice.
He is making friends with the box.
You can't make friends with an inanimate object, Andrew.
Sure you can. Just ask Rockington back at your place.
Yeah, that's true. Deere having some words with number 6 from Florida State. Now it looks like they're just kind of palling around, perhaps. Good to see it's not all bad blood.
It's all hate. Little bit of love.
A little bit of love.
All hate.
All hate. All right. A nice little huddle here developing in front of the Kennesaw State goal.
So if you look at that huddle right there, that's what Luke Thurston looks like to the Florida State offense.
He looks like 5 people.
Looks like 5 people. I mean, he hasn't even been tested in a long time. He's had 14 saves for the longest time. He hasn't faced a shot in a while. I hope he's not cooling down over there.
Let's keep it there. Are they putting him on ice? Are they icing him?
Why did I want to start this with you? Why did I want to start these broadcasts with you? If you're just going to make puns.
I don't know. I like me.
Oh, my God. Matt, just keep... You keep saying those. Isn't a very neighborly thing to do. Speaking of neighborly, Bradley's Bar and Grill, your neighborhood bar where we do neighborly things.
The madman has picked up on the Bradley's Bar and Grill hype train.
I'll expect my check in the mail, Bradley's.
Bradley's, you can send that check to 1100 South Marietta Parkway Southeast. Thank you.
All right, then. Matt, living on the Marietta campus here at Kennesaw State.
Hey, man, I'm an engineering major, but I can still Still commentate with the best of them.
Sure you can.
At least I think so. Face off at center ice. It's Deer taking this face off with McDonald, Vandekerkov, Wes Davis, and Drew Spicinski. And it looks like still a man advantage here for Kennesaw State. So a man is sitting in the box for Kennesaw State. That's Mitchell Bright, I believe. But no shorthander will result from this. McDonald with a full head of steam now along the far boards into Florida State territory, rather. Wes Davis, far point. To the high point, looking for a centering pass to Spicinski. Just a little too much heat on that one. Vandekerkov now. Near side boards. Vandekerkov with a shot from the high point, just barely turned aside by the blocker of Gadbois. Vandekerkov trying to push it over to McDonald. Eventually manages to. Dumped in behind the net. Ooh, a centering pass from Spicinski to Deer. Just barely missed. And, oh my goodness. Just barely offsides there from Kennesaw State. Wes Davis doing his darndest to keep it in the zone. Can't quite make it happen, however. So we'll have a neutral zone face-off with even-strength hockey for the first time in a good long while with 6 minutes and 54 seconds left to play here in the second period.
That was a great play with his skate if you would have kept it onside. Kennesaw State soccer, take notes.
Get this man a contract, Atlanta United. All right, Deer now along the near boards, dumping it in behind the Florida State goal. Kennesaw State in the offensive zone once again. That's Arnold now. Arnold on the ice for the first time in a little bit. And that's Berezinski skating all the way back down the ice to collect the puck behind his own net. Berezinski pokes one over to Arnold, but Florida State gained possession in the offensive zone. Florida State looking for a pass or eventually a shot that is popped up by the stick of a Kennesaw defenseman and snapped up by the glove side of Luke Thurston.
He's not cold. He's not cold, Matt. Made that save with ease.
True story, but I'll tell you what. Maybe it can be maybe it gets a little bit easier to make saves when you have a Florida State roster that can't even get cohesive jerseys together, throwing you meatballs like that.
I have to agree.
All right. Kennesaw State looking to regain possession in their own zone now and manage to. That's Berezinski. Up the far boards now. Kennesaw State gained possession once again. That's McDonald over to Testino, but the pass intercepted. But intercepted once again by Kennesaw State. That's Deer bringing it up along the near boards behind the Florida State goal. Looking for a centering pass. Can't quite make it happen. Pokes it along the far boards to McDonald. Pass jumps over his stick, however, and it's back into Kennesaw territory. Back into the neutral zone now. Kennesaw, this is Testino with a one-on-one. He's been known to make a man miss. He tries to send another one on goal, and the rebound, no dice from Kennesaw State, just barely. That's Berezinski with a hard slapper, stopped before he can get to the net, or turned aside before he can get to the net. And along the near boards now, it's Berezinski. Down to Testino, looking for a centering pass, manages to get it, but it's turned aside by the blocker of Gadbois. A lot of quality chances here late in the second period from Kennesaw State. As if they need it. They're up 4-1 already. 5:20 remaining in the second period of play. And a centering pass by Kennesaw State just barely intercepted by Florida State. That's Vandekerkov now along the near boards. Sending it behind to Deer, who plays it along to Spicinski, I believe. Yes. Florida State with the puck now, clearing it all the way back down to the Kennesaw side of the ice. But I'll tell you what, that looks like an icing to me. And that's coming all the way back into Florida State territory.
Up 3 goals, 4-1. A lot of shots on goal anyway. I'll tell you, Gadbois looks like he does not want to reach his last year's average of 5 goals a game.
He's trying to break that record, isn't he?
I mean, it's only the second period. It looks like it.
Alrighty. Kennesaw State with a 4-1 lead, but looking like they're playing 2 goals down. Kennesaw State working along the near boards now, trying to regain possession of the puck. That's Tisdale fighting for it now behind the net, and we have a stoppage in play. And a cross-checking penalty will be assessed to Aaron Tisdale, his first year with the team.
Aaron Tisdale, freshman here at Kennesaw with family in Boston and Virginia. We got some viewers from a long way away.
I
Matt.
hear tell they're watching today, and we would like to extend our well wishes to everyone involved. Had a quality chance, and I believe a goal yesterday as well. Yes, had 1 goal yesterday, almost had 2. Ooh, off the face-off, a shot by Kennesaw State almost immediately corralled.
Matt, he had the game winner yesterday.
Yes, indeed. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. somehow, out of this situation, Kennesaw State with a man advantage for 2 minutes.
I'm not sure what the rest are calling here. Matt.
Testino along the near boards. I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan. Kennesaw State with a fresh 1:38 remaining in their somehow power play. All right, that's Gagner now. Near point. Playing it along behind to Tisdale. Never mind. Tisdale's not going to the bench, rather. Or the box. It's so interesting. All right, Deere, high point with a hard slapper. Stop before it can get to the net. Florida State managed to clear the puck once again. And that's Deere back to collect. Deere and Gagner. Deere playing it all the way up past center ice to Tisdale. Just barely bounces off of his stick. Lose possession once again. And it's 1:05 remaining in this Kennesaw State power play with 3:47 to go in the second period of play here at the Marietta Ice Center. That's Vandekerkhoff now, skating up past center ice into the Florida State zone. Near point now looking for a pass. Sends it all the way back around to Deere. Deere with the puck now behind the Florida State goal. Deere to McDonald. McDonald to Davis. Davis over to Vandekerkhoff. Good puck movement here. Vandekerkhoff to Davis. Davis. Pass to Deere or McDonald rather, just behind him. He has to bop one off of his skate. Oh, my goodness. Aaron Tisdale put the Madden hit stick on him. My goodness.
Say it. Tisdale letting him know. Freshman can hit. Freshman can hit.
Oh, my
He is letting him know. He may be 18 or 19 years old, but he's playing like he's 23.
My God almighty, they've killed him.
Matt, you're Southern?
It's the WWE. I was JR from the WWE there.
Good reference, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, when you lay a man out like that, it can only be described in world wrestling terms.
I'll tell you, I'm not sure what the call was on Mitchell Bright a lot earlier, but he is still in the box.
Well, he's keeping the guy company, man.
Yeah, but he hasn't been in the game.
He's a
a while.
good guy. He's keeping him company.
He hasn't been in the game a while.
All right, we have 31 seconds of even strength 4-on-4 hockey, wouldn't you know it? And 31 seconds remaining in this even strength before a Florida State power play, but it's Vandekerkhoff now, managing to corral the puck away from 3 Florida State defensemen. Kennesaw State with possession in the neutral zone now. Davis near side to McDonald. McDonald skates in, drops it off to Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff near wing, behind the Florida State net now. Vandekerkhoff up to Deere. Deere centering pass, slides by Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff over to Davis, but it was bouncing over his stick, and that goes all the way back down to the Kennesaw zone. Thurston out of his goal to collect. Sends it around to Deere. Deere over to Davis now, near side. Davis trying for a high floater pass, stopped by the noggin of a Florida State defenseman.
Noggin.
All righty. Florida State with the puck in their neutral zone now, rather, and into the Kennesaw State zone. Kennesaw State managed to clear as the 4-on-4 expires, and we have a minute 4 of 5-on-4 hockey for Florida State now, seeing if they can maybe stop some of the bleeding here before this third period gets underway. 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the second period of play here at the Marietta Ice Center, getting tied up along the near boards. Kennesaw State come out with the puck, however. Testino puts a shot on goal, but it is stopped before it can get there. Testino with the puck once again, skating out into the neutral zone, almost back into his own zone, puts one along the far boards, and Florida State corral the puck. Minute 50 remaining in the second period, and 31 seconds to play. 30 seconds now on this Florida State power play as Luke Thurston grabs and holds the puck for a stoppage.
One of the 3 number 8s for Florida State came over, had some words with Gagner, had to crane his neck to talk to him because he was looking straight up.
Yeah, my goodness. All righty. Kennesaw State, puck in their own zone, managed to get the clear already, and that's Arnold making a man miss. Arnold with a one-on-one situation here, puts a shot on goal shorthanded with 20 seconds remaining in the Florida State power play. Florida State finally corralled the puck, bring it up past center ice into Kennesaw State territory. Dropping it off for a Kennesaw State player is Florida State. Thank you very much. We'll take that. And Kennesaw State managed to clear, and with 5 seconds remaining on this Florida State power play, and it expires just now, I do believe Kennesaw State have another successful penalty kill.
Matt, they didn't
and we have another delayed penalty. This time it'll be on Florida State for a shot to the head of McDonald.
Hey, Matt, Florida State didn't get a single shot on goal during that power play.
You are absolutely correct. And we had a shot on goal as well. We have a delayed penalty here. This one's against Florida State for going high on Ian McDonald.
They're really trying to take off our heads here. I don't know what their problem is. I don't know if they had a bad day before they got to the rink, but either way, it's they're looking a little mean.
Yeah, they are. Hey, man, they woke up on the wrong side of the alligator this morning.
They woke up on the wrong side of the Florida-Georgia line.
Man, Florida, what a disappointing state.
Florida is just like one big GTA server.
Have you ever
A lot of weird stuff happens in Florida.
The thing is, there are more hills in Grand Theft Auto than there are in Florida, however. Have you been to Florida? It's like nothingness and then alligators.
Something with swamp and alligators.
All right, Van de Kerkhoff now. Off of the face-off for Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State with a fresh 2 minutes of 5-on-4 hockey. Florida State managed to corral the puck and clear, however. Thurston will skate out from his net and drop it off to one of the 3 waiting Kennesaw players. That's Wes Davis with the puck. Taking it up, sending it along the far boards now to McDonald, who with a full head of steam skates right into the Florida State zone and puts a backhand on goal that has to be fought off by Gadbois. All righty, Moran now is in. Sends one over to Davis. Davis with a shot from the high point. Rebound, looking for it, is Kennesaw State, but it's grabbed and held by Ryan Gadbois. Some more quality chances here from Kennesaw State.
Davis put that shot on goal, and it just trickled right in front of Gadbois' glove. Van der Kerkhoff tried to put it in the back of the net, but somehow ended up inside of Gadbois' glove. I don't know how he did it.
Unfortunate centering pass.
I honestly don't know how he did it.
Maybe he has a spare one. He's like cheating. All righty. Florida State managed to clear. There's a minute 18 remaining on this Florida State power, or in this Kennesaw State power play rather, but we only have 12 seconds remaining in this period. So that will carry over into the third period of play here as Kennesaw State with a full head of steam back into the Florida State zone. Florida State looking to clear once again, but are bumped off the puck by Kennesaw. It's Kennesaw State attempting to regain possession, but that's all she wrote for the second period of play in the second of the 2-game series here. Kennesaw State with a healthy 4-1 lead against the Florida State Seminoles. 59 seconds remaining on this Kennesaw State power play when we rejoin you guys for the third period of action here at the Marietta Ice Center. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The third period's just about to start for Kennesaw State versus Florida State. KSU is up 4-1, absolutely beating Florida State like a rented mule.
They are absolutely spanking that, Andrew. You are correct. And we figured that maybe before we get underway here with this third period, before the players make their way back to the ice, we could go over some stats for the last couple of days.
For tonight, the
For
goals are
posterity.
scored by Ian McDonald, Jeremy Vandekerkhoff with 2 goals, and John Testino. Assisted by Gagner with 2 assists, Spicinski with 1 assist, and Wes Davis also with an assist.
That brings a 2-day total for Ian McDonald of 2 goals. We have 1 goal yesterday from Tristan Gagner and 1 from Aaron Tisdale as well. Drew Spicinski with a goal yesterday as well. Those assisted by Evan Deere, Mason Bright, and Wes Davis. Now for the wall of shame, Andrew. The penalty count.
Ooh.
Who do we got leading the penalty count here? We
Ooh,
have
I-
a total 2-day total of 4 penalties, I believe, currently.
4 for Mitchell Bright.
He is the leader in the wall of shame at the moment, but that is followed up by 3, I believe, for, let me check, 3 for Drew Spicinski, 2 for Jeremy Vandekerkhoff, 1 yesterday and 2 today, rather, for Evan Deere, and 1 for Mason Bright today, and 1 for Josh Berezinski today, as well as 1 for Gagner, Tisdale, and Bright, respectively.
And the story for face-offs between yesterday and today, completely different. Yesterday, we destroyed FSU on face-offs with 33 wins, and we lost only 24. Today, though, it is dead even at 14 apiece. But Luke
That's
Thurston has not been challenged much. Yesterday, he had to make 31 saves. Today, only 15.
I'll tell you what, Kennesaw has been able, barring the early struggles that they had on the offensive side of the ice, they have been keeping the pressure up all game very consistently. And there's no reason to think that'll change here with the third period about to get underway, because we have 59 seconds of 5-on-4 hockey opening the third period for Kennesaw State.
The boys in black and white coming out, giving them a whistle like, hey, break huddle, get over to the face-off. We want to play some hockey. Or we want to try to screw you guys over. Either way, I don't know what they think. Hey, ref, you just spit on the ice. That's not nice, man.
Hey,
We have to skate on that.
think about the environment.
We have to skate on that.
Absolutely disgusting. Alrighty. Kennesaw State making their way to the face-off circle now. That's Drew Spicinski. Will be taking this face-off for Kennesaw State as they line up at center ice. And the third period underway now with 58 seconds of Kennesaw State power play here. That's Deere sending one across ice in their own zone to Gagner. Gagner back over to Deere. Deere over to Gagner. Gagner just kind of holding on to it behind his own net. Pass up along now by Gagner to Spicinski along the near board. Spicinski getting into the Florida State zone, but loses the puck to Florida State. Florida State attempting to clear, but Testino corrals it and keeps it in the zone. Gagner now attempting to send a wrister that is popped up high into the air by Florida State along the glass behind their own goal. Kennesaw State keeping it in. And a centering, bouncing chip pass for Tisdale is snapped up and held by Ryan Gadbois.
Ryan Gadbois with a big hole in his legs, letting 4 goals through.
They took him high glove side on like 2 or 3 of those, though, didn't they?
They did.
Already
No,
a
high
big
stick
slapper off the blocker from Deere. And that's Tisdale now. A hard pass to Gagner goes between his legs and all the way back down to the Kennesaw State side of things. With 4 seconds remaining, it looks like Kennesaw State will not be able to convert on this 5-on-4 opportunity here at the beginning of the third period. But that's Testino now with the puck at center ice, chipping it in to Tari along the near boards. In the Florida State zone is Kennesaw looking to make the offense work once again. But it is Florida State now, chipping it in to Kennesaw territory. Along the far boards now is Kennesaw into the neutral zone past center ice. Kennesaw State chipped the puck away from Florida State, but only momentarily. Florida State regains possession now in the neutral ice. Can barely get it into the Kennesaw zone unless they're doing the dump and chase method. And Kennesaw State sending one all the way back down the ice, right to the waiting stick of Gadbois. And that is a stoppage in play as the collision of sticks sends a puck high into the net.
Yeah, high into the net. If it was any further over, it'd be high into us.
I'll catch that one. I'll catch it and throw it back.
Will you?
I'll try and throw
Will
it
you
into
throw
the
it back?
Dude, if I catch a puck this season, I'm going to try and throw it into the goal.
Just bean it at Gadbois.
I'm trying to
Just
throw it into the goal.
Absolutely bean it at him.
Absolutely. Oh, no, that might be a penalty on our side. I don't want to hurt the team's chances.
Penalty on the announcer.
I don't want to hurt the team's chances. It's like a technical in basketball.
One of these refs would call a penalty on us.
You know what? They would. All right, Spyzinski taking the faceoff now in the offensive zone for Kennesaw State. Florida State come up with the power play, or with the the faceoff rather, and skated all the way into Kennesaw territory, looking for a centering pass. Nobody home. Florida State with the puck along the near boards now, along behind Thurston. Kennesaw State with the puck on the far boards now. That's Vanderkerkhoff all the way cross ice to Deer. Deer now with a centering pass to Spyzinski. Can't quite make it happen. Vanderkerkhoff now retaining possession of the puck. Looking for a centering pass. Can't quite make it happen. That's Spyzinski behind the net. Back to Vanderkerkhoff. Oh, a wrister turned aside by Gadbois from Vanderkerkhoff now. And it's Florida State finally regaining the neutral zone with possession, where they immediately lose it to Kennesaw State. That's Vanderkerkhoff in to Spyzinski, who is spun to the ice by Florida State. And back out into the neutral ice is Kennesaw with the puck. That's Davis sending one cross ice in his own territory to Berezinski, who sends one over to Deer, but he can't quite get a stick on it. It's Florida State with the puck now, bringing it out into the neutral zone past center ice. Florida State into Kennesaw territory now, making a man miss is Florida State, putting one on goal, shrugged aside by Thurston like it ain't no thing once again. And it's Kennesaw State with possession in their own zone, but we have a stoppage. And a tripping penalty will be assessed to Berezinski.
That is
Josh Berezinski.
One half of the Berezinski brothers. Hey, Mitchell Bright is finally out of the box. Going back to the bench. We'll see him in a little bit.
Welcome back, Mitch. Good to have you, buddy.
I wonder what he was in there for.
Maybe they had like food in there or something. He was just trying to get a quick snack in.
Yeah,
quick
he
second
had some
period,
fries in there.
Quick second period snack in.
There's a box of Pop-Tarts in there.
All
They're
right,
hiding it from me.
a fresh 2 minutes of power play for Florida State here. Kennesaw State's penalty kill has been stellar this whole series, though. And it is Tisdale with a full head of steam trying to contest the possession here on Florida State's side of the ice. And Florida State regains center ice and eventually the Kennesaw State zone. 16:40 remaining in this third and final period of play here with 1:35 left in the Florida State power play. Florida State attempting to make some magic happen here. Can't quite get anything to fall. Florida State from the high point sending a wrister at Luke Thurston, who snaps it up on short order once again.
3 saves right in a row. Trying to pressure him a little bit more. Florida State may have finally found some offense in that locker room.
Yeah, they found some offense, but what they didn't find was a way around the brick wall that is Luke Thurston.
The absolute unit, Luke Thurston.
The absolute unit. Alrighty. Face off now in Kennesaw territory won by Florida State. Kennesaw now fighting for possession along the near side. Eventually come up with it. That's Davis sending a hard lofting clear all the way down behind Florida State net, and that's 1:10 remaining in this Florida State power play. Florida State with it along the near boards now, sending one cross ice as Florida State past center ice, where Kennesaw immediately regain possession of the puck and dump it back into Florida State territory once again. Kennesaw State come up with possession of the puck here in Florida State territory. Kennesaw State shorthanded, just going to play keep away rather than go for the shot. That's 45 seconds remaining on the Florida State power play with 15:42 remaining in this third period. Florida State finally regained possession. Now it's along the near boards. Florida State, and we have a stoppage for offsides.
Our penalty kill's been pretty freaking good tonight, man. I don't know about you, but
It has been very solid.
I'm a fan. The only way they scored was on a 5-on-3.
If that's what it takes to score every
It
single
took
time.
2 5-on-3s.
Oh, yeah,
Because
you're
we
right.
killed off the first one.
You are absolutely correct. Alrighty, Vanderkerkhoff going to be taking this neutral zone faceoff. Comes up with the win. That's Arnold with the puck now, bumping it on back for Davis, who sends one in around behind the Florida State goal. 25 seconds remaining on this Florida State power play. They've spent more time in their own zone than in the offensive zone. And it's 15:20 remaining here in the final period of play. That's Gagner with the puck now. Gagner sending one cross ice, a nice clear all the way back behind Florida State's net once again. And we have 10 seconds remaining on this Florida State power play. Florida State with the puck in their own zone finally get a pass center ice in almost a miracle that they get it into the Kennesaw State zone now. All right, Kennesaw State come up with possession yet again. Kennesaw State 2-on-1 developing here. Vanderkerkhoff looking for an opportunity. Centering pass to Arnold. Can't quite make it happen. And that's Gagner with a hard wrister turned aside by the blocker of Ryan Gadbois. All righty, Kennesaw State with possession in the offensive zone once again as soon as they regain full strength here. 14:35 remaining in the third period of play, rather. That's McDonald. Behind the net now is Vanderkerkhoff. Vanderkerkhoff loses the puck to two Florida State defensemen, but immediately regains possession. Man, he's got the handles. All righty. Ooh, a high wrister put on net by Bright, but it is shrugged aside by Gadbois, and we have a stoppage in play.
What was it calling that? Was it played by a high stick?
No, I believe the net got bumped off of its hinges.
You know,
there.
I bet that was just Gadbois bumping into it to stop the play. He was getting tested.
I agree. He's not he hasn't been playing super hot today. I mean, allow 4 goals. McDonald now taking this face-off. Florida State come up with it, but immediately pass it to Gagner, who sends a wrister that's turned aside before it can get to the net. Alrighty, Kennesaw State behind the Florida State goal. Once again, a centering pass to Bright. He comes up with it, but it's stuffed before he can get a shot off. That's Gagner. Hard slapper stopped in front of the net. And Testino comes up with the puck, but we have a stoppage in play and I believe a penalty.
Yeah, it's a penalty on Testino. Took him right off his feet.
I don't know about all that.
John Testino, also a freshman at Kennesaw State this year. First year
is he
playing.
really?
Yes, he is.
That's good to know. Welcome aboard.
First year playing for hockey. You know,
Playing for
hockey, the hockey team, doing a very good job.
I'll tell you what he is. You know who's not doing a good job? You, the cameraman.
Listen, I don't
All
need
right.
that from you, Matt.
A face-off won by Kennesaw State. They're back short-handed again, but they're very comfortable at this, it seems. Florida State with possession now looking for a centering pass broken up by Kennesaw. Another shot put on goal, but stopped before it gets there by Florida State. Kennesaw State trying to clear to the zone, and eventually Spyzinski manages to slap one all the way back past the Florida State goal. And we have 13:26 remaining in this third period of play with 1:30 remaining in the Florida State power play. Florida State skating around with it in Kennesaw territory. Near point now, Florida State. Hard slapper. Ooh, off the blocker of Thurston. And another hard rebound slapper is fought aside by Thurston. Looking like a pinball machine out there with that blocker is Luke Thurston. Alrighty, 1:10 remaining in this Florida State power play as they regain possession and gain center ice and eventually the Kennesaw zone. 12:55 remaining in the third period as Florida State skate around with it at the far point now. Florida State maintain possession, looking for a cross-ice pass and a shot put on goal just wide of the net by Florida State. It takes an odd bounce off of the boards and goes all the way back into Florida State territory. Florida State, however, immediately trying to dump it back in to regain possession, but that's Gagner once again. Alrighty, 35 seconds remaining here in the Florida State power play with 12:24 remaining. And a centering pass is no dice there. And another centering pass is turned aside by Kennesaw State before it can reach Luke Thurston. And a hard slapper from the high point is snapped up and held by Luke Thurston. That was a confusing one for him to follow. But I'll tell you what, he regained his composure and made a class save right there.
On his game today, Matt.
You are absolutely right. Kennesaw State came to play.
21 saves, only 1 goal allowed.
That is very impressive. When we have 23 seconds remaining in this Florida State power play, 12:10 to play in the third. Ooh, Kennesaw State maybe with a shorthanded opportunity here. Actually, no dice. Florida State regains possession past center ice into the Kennesaw zone. Florida State bumped off the puck momentarily. Cross-ice pass for Florida State. Eventually connects. Puck bouncing all around. All right, Florida State with possession behind the Kennesaw net. Looking for a centering pass, but no dice. Fighting in front of the net, attempting to drive one home is Florida State, and they can't quite make it happen Luke Thurston sealed up that corner like it was an airlock. What do you seal up?
An airlock. You're going right to space. An airlock?
Yeah, I mean,
right
I
to
watched,
space.
I don't know. I watched Elon Musk give a speech earlier today.
Way to go, Elon. Are we sponsored by Tesla?
Oh, we should be sponsored by Tesla. Yeah, Bradley's. Maybe they'll buy us Teslas. Bradley's, your neighborhood bar where they do neighborly things.
Do they have Tesla money over at Bradley's?
Hopefully. I mean, they have Banner in the Ice Center money.
That is true. They do have Banner in the Ice Center money. I don't know how much a banner costs, but
We should get banners.
we should get banners.
That'd be really cool.
Matt,
Alrighty.
we should get banners.
All right, I agree. Kennesaw State eventually regaining possession here. We are back to full-strength 5-on-5 hockey. This is Spysinski skating into Florida State territory now, looking for a centering pass. No dice yet. Oh, my goodness. A centering pass for Vandekerkhoff almost bounces off of Gadbois into the goal. That one was a meatball out there waiting to be crushed into the back of the net.
And Vandekerkhoff had some words for Florida State after the play. Looks like he's still jawing at him. I love
like it.
I love it. That's some nice aggressive hockey here
Give
tonight,
him
Matt.
the business. Alrighty, Spysinski lining up for the faceoff here in Kennesaw's offensive zone. Florida State coming up with the faceoff, however. Florida State along the near boards now. Attempting to get it out into the neutral zone, eventually do. Pass center ice into the Kennesaw zone is Florida State. Losing the puck once they gain the offensive zone. However, they regain possession and try and send a centering pass that's stuffed before it can get there in Kennesaw State. Once again, attempting to clear, but no dice. A shot sent high wide of the net by Florida State, and Kennesaw, I believe, will have a delayed penalty here.
That's tripping. Swept his feet right out from under him with the stick. That is a clear trip on Mason Bright. God, the Bright brothers are loving that penalty box tonight, aren't they?
They got to take turns. It's sharing is caring. Alrighty, 11:01 to play here in the third period. Kennesaw State still with a very comfortable 4-1 lead. And a fresh 2 minutes once again for Florida State to try and make anything happen on the power play. I'll tell you what, at this point, Andrew, my guess is that they won't have a snowball's chance in hell at scoring this goal.
I mean, a power play is a power play. But, I mean, they've had 10 power play chances. That's our 10th penalty.
That's so many.
And they only scored once.
Yeah, that's why I'm
We've
saying.
given them a pretty good chance on their power play opportunity, but either our penalty kill's too good or their power play is just too weak.
Their offense is also trash.
I mean, yeah, look, he doesn't even have a
Black
Florida
shirt.
State jersey. Look at that.
Black shirt back on the ice for Florida State, sending one cross ice. Florida State gaining center ice again and eventually the Kennesaw zone, but it immediately pops back out of the Kennesaw zone once again. Kennesaw State with possession now, going to play a little bit of keep away. This is Gagner sending a high saucer all the way down the ice to behind the Florida State goal. Minute 30 once again. 30 seconds tick off of this power play very quickly. Florida State gaining the Kennesaw zone once again. Florida State looking to make something happen here. A pass. Kennesaw State trying to make a stop once again. Florida State at the near wing now, to the near point. Near wing is Florida State. Florida State corral the puck again. Managed to maintain possession for the moment. But eventually, Kennesaw comes up with it. That's Davis, I believe, sending one all the way back down the ice for Gadbois to redirect to Larson, I believe, for Florida State. This is Kennesaw now, attempting to get back on defense as Florida State with a full head of steam throws a high, wide wrist shot right off of the glass. And this is Kennesaw State now with the puck in their offensive zone despite being shorthanded. Battling for the puck along the near boards now is Kennesaw. Kennesaw managed to dump it in behind Florida State goal once again. Vandekerkhoff with a clean steal against Florida State and a centering pass almost for a shorthanded opportunity. There's two members of Kennesaw State here making the entire Florida State defense look silly. Alrighty. Florida State gain the offensive zone once again. Put a shot on goal, turned aside by the blocker of Luke Thurston, who lets a rebound go. And Florida State finally manage to bury one in the back of the net. First time since the first period. With 9:12 to play in this third period, Florida State bring the score within 2 goals. It's 4-2.
Hey, don't worry. 2 goals only took 10 penalties and a bad rebound.
How is that all?
Yeah, that's it.
My goodness. Kennesaw State going to shake that one off and get back to it. We are back to full-strength hockey with 9:12 to play here in the third period at the Marietta Ice Center. Alrighty. Kennesaw State winning the faceoff. Immediately losing possession of the puck, however, as a pass is intercepted. This is Davis behind his own net now. Looking to skate out with it. Dumps it off to, I believe, that is, I don't have 17 on the roster either. However, Kennesaw State in the offensive zone, but Florida State with possession. Kennesaw State dump it back into Florida State territory. This is Tisdale looking for the contest now. Can't quite make it happen, but a pass skitters off of a Florida State member's hand, and Kennesaw State come up with it. Kennesaw State, puck in their own zone. Looking to gain the neutral zone, eventually do. And all the way back into Florida State territory, no icing rather. And this is Kennesaw along the near boards now. That's Tisdale with the puck. Tisdale making a man miss, but eventually losing the puck. Davis keeping the puck in the offensive zone, however. This is Tisdale behind the net. Ooh, gets knocked over, but brings the Florida State member with him. A hard slapper. Ooh, a knuckleball from Davis there. Almost skitters in, and we have a delayed penalty against Kennesaw State. Wouldn't you know it?
11 penalties. I'm really starting to think these refs have it out for us.
I couldn't agree more, and that is...
Who's this one on?
Tisdale.
That is Aaron Tisdale going to the box.
He brought the Florida State defenseman down with him after taking a lick, but he bounces right back up. He watches a lot of hockey.
He does.
All right, 8:02 remaining in this third period. Kennesaw State Fighting Owls still up 4 to the Florida State Seminoles 2. All right, Kennesaw State immediately winning the shorthanded faceoff, and a shot put on goal by Florida State, however. Kennesaw, that's McDonald, getting to the puck first. He is a very quick skater and brings it all the way back down the ice behind the Florida State goal. That's Deere on the defense now, trying to be a nuisance in Florida State territory. A pass intercepted by Berezynski here. Oh, Kennesaw State looking for another shorthanded opportunity. Deere puts one in the breadbasket of Gadbois shorthanded. My goodness, that was a beautiful interception by Berezynski, who laid a centering pass on a silver platter to Deere. Deere just couldn't quite corral it, but he manages to get a shot into the breadbasket of Gadbois. Shorthanded. Kennesaw State now with an offensive zone faceoff, despite being shorthanded. That's Florida State immediately trying to make a quick play in transition. A slapper from Florida State is sent high of the net, off the glass. Near boards now. Florida State, we have a stoppage, however. And puck is played by a high stick, I believe.
Is he going to the box?
Oh, no, he's going to the box. That's high sticking.
He's going to the box. He
And
wants to be friends with it.
Wants to be one with the box. That's Larson. I don't like that guy.
Ugh. Larson. He deserves to be penalized.
I agree. Ugh. Look at his stupid face mask.
What you got against his face mask?
It looks stupid.
Does it?
It looks fine on everybody else, but on him
But
specifically,
only
it
on
looks
Larson.
really dumb. I agree. I think it's because it's bigger than his soft little gentle face.
You're so
He's not
mean,
designed.
Matt.
He
You're
wasn't.
so
He wasn't
mean.
built to play hockey. All right, minute 20 remaining of 4-on-4 hockey. Kennesaw State very comfortable with this, and then we'll get 40 seconds. Oh my goodness! A shot from the near point before I can even get the words out by Tristan Gagner. Finds its way to the back of the net off of a redirect, I believe.
That was redirected. Looked like a Florida State player
Own
right
goal?
to his own goal.
Own goal?
We have an own goal.
But I'll tell you what, I'll give Tristan Gagner the goal on that one. My goodness, what a great shot from the near point. He's been taking those all night, and he's very comfortable doing so. He can find the back of the net pretty consistently. Kennesaw State take a 5-2 lead, and we're still playing 4-on-4 hockey.
Gagner with 4 points on the night, 1 goal and 2 assists.
Wow, he's a monster. He's killing it. Testino now wins the faceoff, bringing it into the Florida State territory once again. Testino, he's a one-man band. He's doing everything. All right, Testino now, a centering pass to Davis. Davis looking to put one on goal. Stop before he can get to the net. Along the far boards now is Florida State with possession. Florida State, 55 seconds left before they go shorthanded. 6:50 remaining in this third period of play. Kennesaw State looking to clamp down on defense yet again. 38 seconds remaining in this 4-on-4 situation. Kennesaw State come up with possession yet again, gain the neutral zone. Oh my goodness, and they're brought to the ice by Florida State. However, bounce right back up and get back on defense. Kennesaw State with possession behind their own net. This is Wes Davis now. Behind Luke Thurston is Wes Davis skating up out of his own zone into the neutral zone, gains center ice, and just they let him skate all the way into their own zone. Florida State does, rather. Alrighty. Florida State grabs possession of the puck and sends it all the way back down the ice for Deere to collect. Deere sending one near side to Deere. To Davis now. Davis back to Deere. Deere with a wrister. Stop before it can get to the net by Blackshirt for Florida State. This is Spyzinski on the far side now. Florida State managed to regain possession. 30 seconds remaining on a Kennesaw State power play with 5:45 to play in the third period. Deere now along the near boards. Deere skating up past center ice, gains the Florida State zone. Deere behind the net now. Poked away by Blackshirt from Florida State. Pass is almost intercepted. We have a one-on-one situation here. Let's see if Luke Thurston can come up with a clutch one. Oh, no. Bright gets back on defense and tips the shot before it can get to Thurston. Well done. Thurston looked ready for it, though. Alrighty, 5:15 to play, and we are back at full-strength hockey here at the Marietta Ice Center. Kennesaw State still up 5-2. And a shot is sent wide of the goal from Florida State, and Kennesaw State collect. Kennesaw State trying to clear to their own zone, eventually do gain the neutral zone, where Florida State regain possession and dump it back in. Bright now with the puck, sending one cross ice to Deere. Deere can't quite put a handle on the pass, and Florida State regain possession and dump it in to Kennesaw territory. Looking for a centering pass is Florida State, but bumped off the puck. Ooh, a centering pass is turned aside by the staunch defense in front of the net from Kennesaw State. Alrighty. Kennesaw State looking to clamp down on defense once again. Florida State trying to get a centering pass, eventually do, but it is broken up in the traffic in front of the net by Kennesaw State, but Florida State regain possession in their own zone. Deere putting a hit on Florida State now. Florida State with possession once again. They've had possession for quite a while now, but can't put anything together. A slapper is turned aside by Arnold before it can even leave the stick. Oh, and a shot is put on goal, turned aside by Thurston. An odd angle shot coming at him. Just kind of bounced off of it, it looks. But mark it as a save. Alrighty. This is McDonald now with the puck behind his own net. McDonald looking for Gagner, but a centering pass is sent by Florida State. This is Arnold coming up with the puck now. Arnold eventually, now it looks like he'll be battled away from the puck by Florida State. Florida State putting one on goal. Can't quite make it fall, however. Florida State looking for another shot, turned aside by Thurston once again. And a centering pass this time is corralled by McDonald. McDonald skating up past center ice, gains the offensive zone. Florida State dumping it all the way back down into Kennesaw territory for an icing with 3:18 to play in this third period here at the Marietta Ice Center.
That was a good possession for Florida State. Got about 5 or 6 shots on goal, but Thurston turns away every single one of them.
Absolutely diabolical.
Didn't even have a chance of going in the net.
All righty, an offensive zone faceoff here for Kennesaw State. This is Tisdale taking the faceoff. And Teal is sent out. And as is Tisdale. Nope. Yes, as is Tisdale. Tari will take the faceoff instead. And eventually wins the faceoff, however, but Florida State regained possession, but Berezinski keeping it in the offensive zone for Kennesaw State. That's Tisdale putting one on goal off the blocker of Ryan Gadbois. Davis keeps it in the offensive zone. Fans on the pass, however. And Florida State regained possession, and it's Florida State 1-on-3. He's a man in a sea of owls. All righty. Wes Davis behind his own net now. Sending one cross ice behind his own net to, I believe, Berezinski. Berezinski up to Tisdale. Tisdale just barely missing that pass, but Tisdale with possession now looking for a centering pass. Can't quite make it happen. This is Florida State coming up the near boards now. They gain center ice in the Kennesaw zone. and immediately lose the Kennesaw zone. And Florida State dancing around with the puck in their own zone, rather. Florida State along the far boards now, bringing it up into the neutral ice, past center ice, and into Kennesaw State territory. Deer now looking to play a little defense, but Kennesaw State can't quite come up with possession just yet. Florida State passing it around as 2 minutes remaining in this third period. Come and go. Alrighty. Kennesaw State managed to dump it a high loft pass all the way back into Florida State territory without an icing. And so this is Kennesaw State's time to put this one to bed. Loses the puck in Florida State territory as Florida State. This is Testino with the puck now, sending one behind the net to Arnold. Arnold with possession behind the Florida State net, looking for a centering pass, thinks better of it. Sends it to Deer. Deer to Arnold. Arnold behind the net to McDonald. McDonald can't quite get a handle on it, and Florida State regains possession, but it's a 2-on-1. He, poked away from the puck. Is offsides as well. And that is going to be a neutral zone face-off with 1 minute and 21 seconds remaining in this final period of play here at the Marietta Ice Center in the second of a 2-game series between Kennesaw State University's Fighting Owls and the Florida State Seminoles.
Looks like this game is all but over, Matt, and KSU is going to go up 2-0 in total against FSU for the year.
2-0. 2-0 record to start out the season. I'm a big fan. Van de Kerkhoff now drops one off to Deer, who puts a shot on goal, but it is stopped up before it can get to the net. Van de Kerkhoff now looking for a centering pass. Some commotion in front of the net, and they score! I believe that Spyzinski tapped it in. My goodness. Spyzinski, off of some commotion in front of the net, buries one right behind Gadbois.
Just piling on him. 6 goals, guys. Just making him look silly.
Yeah, you don't have to beat him that bad, guys.
Or maybe we do.
My goodness. With 1:06 remaining in the third period, Kennesaw State Fighting Owls take a 6-2 dominant lead against the Seminoles. Florida State managed to win this face-off and bring it out past center ice and dump it into the Kennesaw State zone, where Kennesaw State immediately corralled the puck. We have 55 seconds to play here when a stoppage in play once again.
Okay, Blackshirt, I get it. You're down 6-2. You don't need to smack the boards with your stick. Come on, that's just bad manners.
That's disrespect. There are other people that need to use this rink, you know.
You know, do they teach that down in Florida State? If you're mad, just smack other people's property.
Apparently. Tisdale taking this face off. Florida State come up with the face off in their own zone. Out past center ice into Kennesaw State territory, and another stoppage in play immediately offsides with 48 seconds remaining.
They're getting too antsy. They're just trying to beat the puck.
Shine Down, Fly From Inside. Do you remember this song?
No. I probably do.
Yes, you do. All righty. I'll explain it after this broadcast, but it is center ice now for Florida State University. An immediate stoppage in play as the puck actually hopped up out of play, I believe, into the net.
So now I'm not the only one that's going to get this guy's playlist. Looks like you're on board now.
Yeah, that's an oldie but goodie, that song, man.
Is it that oldie?
I mean, it's like early 2000s. That's old for us.
See, every time I hear like, 2002, 2003, I'm like, oh, that was 10 years ago. Then I realize I'm just old.
Yeah, and you realize I was almost 20 years ago.
Ugh.
My goodness.
I need to stop aging.
Yeah, join the club, buddy.
Matt, are you feeling 22, by the way?
I believe I am feeling 22.
That's
it looks
good
like
to know.
Kennesaw State, with 40 seconds to play here in the third period, is on track for 22 goals. All right, McDonald winning the faceoff for Kennesaw State. That's Gagner. Ooh, up to McDonald. McDonald, one man to beat. Nobody but the goalie. Now McDonald putting the old razzle-dazzle off the pass from Gagner. My goodness, he made Gadbois his little baby.
That's the second time in 2 games that McDonald has beat Gadbois with that same move.
My goodness, that's McDonald's second of the game, correct?
Yeah.
Or is it his third?
That's his second.
Second of the game, in Kennesaw State, with 33 seconds to play, go up 7-2 against the battered, bewildered, and confused Florida State Seminoles. I mean, they came into this rink confused, obviously with their jerseys. But Ian McDonald now with the puck in the offensive zone yet again. And a stoppage in play, I believe there's going to be a penalty.
Not only is that McDonald's second goal of the game, Matt, that is Gagner's third assist.
And wouldn't you know it, a penalty on Florida State.
Oh, now you call him with 23 seconds left?
23.7
Where
seconds
was
remaining.
this when, the game was close?
And it looks like Kennesaw State will end this game with a man advantage. 23.7 seconds remaining. Kennesaw State putting a beat down on Florida State here in this third period, 7-2.
This is hard to watch. These guys have families, Matt.
Kennesaw State win this faceoff. That's Berezinski at the near point. Sends one to the near wing. This is Berezinski out in front. Far wing now is Berezinski skating around with it. Just playing keep away, I believe, running out the clock. Cross ice pass to Bright. Bright putting a wrister on goal that's snapped up and held by Gadbois.
Bright sees everyone scoring goals. He's like, hey, I want a piece of that too.
He's like, let me in the action here, buddy.
Got his Gadbois even in his net. I want some target practice as well. 7 goals this game.
7 goals this game with 5.8 seconds remaining in the final period of play here. This will be the final faceoff more than likely. And that is 0.1 seconds. And that is all she wrote, everybody, for this final series. Final game of this 2-game series. Score, Kennesaw State Fighting Owls 7, Florida State Seminoles 2. Thank you very much for watching once again with the play-by-play. This has been yours truly, Matt Leonard. And with the color commentating, the stat keeping, and the camera work, this has been my brother, Andrew Leonard. Thank you very much for being here with me, buddy.
No problem, Matt. Happy to be here.
And as they line up for the handshakes, we will see you guys next time. Don't go anywhere. For an extended period of time, that is. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. We will see you on the next broadcast. Twitch.tv/SuperGamecastBros. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit follow so you'll never miss a minute of Kennesaw State hockey or any other hockey that may be broadcast here. Thank you very much for watching once again, and we will see you next time.